The Myanmar military today handed over a group of 22 Northeast insurgents to the Indian government. And as per sources, the insurgents wanted in Manipur and Assam are being brought back by a special security forces plane. And as per information, the plane will first make a stopover in Manipur capital Imphal before heading to Guwahati. And this is a rare occasion as far as Myanmar government acting on India's request to hand over leaders of the Northeast insurgent groups is concerned. And this is seen as a result of increasing intelligence and defense cooperation between the two countries from both sides. And among those deported by Myanmar are some senior and long-wanted Indian insurgent leaders such as NTFBS Self-Styled Home Secretary Rajan Daimari, Sanatomba Ningthojam of UNLF and Pashuram Laishram of Prepak Pro. And 12 of the 22 insurgents are linked to 4 insurgent groups in Manipur, UNLF, Prepak Pro, KYKL and PLA. And the remaining 10 are linked to Assam groups such as NTFBS and KLO. And while the Myanmar army attacked multi-group terror camps at Taga in north of the country across Vijayanagar salient in Arunachal Pradesh in the first phase and decimated Arakan, Nilgiri and Hokyat camps in the second. And the 22 insurgents who have been handed over were caught by Myanmar army in the Sagai region in these operations. Alright, so indeed a breaking news at this point in time, viewers, and to get the first reactions on this, we'll be joined live by our editor-in-chief, Wasbir Hussain. Well, Wasbir, a big development, isn't it? As many as 22 Northeast rebels handed over.
Well, yes, this is a very big development as far as Northeast insurgency is concerned. In fact, let me give you the breaking story that at this point in time, at 5:50, exactly at 5:50 p.m., the plane carrying 22 Northeastern rebels, and 10 of which are from Assam. It landed at Guwahati's Borjhar airport. Earlier, the plane had landed in Imphal airport where 12 Meitei rebels belonging to Manipur had got down. 12 of them out of this 22 had got down in Imphal, and at 5:50 p.m. this evening, the Indian Air Force plane landed at the Guwahati's Borjhar airport carrying 10 Assam militants, out of which 5 are from the NDAP Swaragra faction and 5 from the KLO. For the viewers, let me tell you, the Swaragra faction of the NDAP is already disbanded itself. They have plunged headlong into active politics now. But these people were arrested in a Myanmar military operation during January, February last year. In 2019, they were arrested, and ever since they were in the custody of the Myanmar military. So, as part of an initiative by the Indian government under the supervision of National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, who was in close touch with authorities in Myanmar. The Myanmarese authorities have carried out this unprecedented step of handing over Northeast rebels to Indian authorities because, viewers, one must understand that never in the past did Myanmar hand over such high-ranking militants to Indian authorities. So this is significant for more reasons than one. And this is considered as a success of neighborhood diplomacy as far as India is concerned, and also demonstrates the increasing good relationship, bilateral ties and defense cooperation between the two Asian neighbors. So having said that, the breaking story first. Today, shortly after noon, an Indian Air Force aircraft flew into Myanmar. Most likely, it landed in Mandalay, from where these 22 rebels were picked up. Then it first landed, on the return journey, it first landed in Imphal airport, where 12 Meitei insurgent groups belonging to the UNLF, Prepak Pro, KL and PLA, they deboarded the plane in Imphal. And these people who deboarded in Imphal includes Captain Sanatomba Ningthojam, a very senior UNLF leader, and Pashuram Laishram, a Prepak PRO, pre-Pak pro leader. So after that, the plane carrying the remaining 10 militants who belong, 5 of whom belong to the NDFBS and the KLO, they landed at Borjhar airport at 5:50 this evening. After that, Pooja, they were taken into custody by the Assam police. And as per protocol, all these 10 militants, as well as the 12 who had deboarded in Imphal, they'll be put into quarantine in view of the COVID situation. That is the protocol which the government in both the states have decided. The militants landing in Imphal as well as in Guwahati have been taken into custody by the police of the respective states, that is Manipur and Assam. They are already in police custody, and they will be put into that mandatory 14-day quarantine. And it is also likely that they will be put into COVID. They will carry out COVID tests, and their swabs will be taken and they'll be tested whether they have somehow by chance contracted the virus or not. So that is the protocol. But as far as the diplomacy is concerned, I think this is a big success story as far as Northeast rebels is concerned. And among the 10 Assam rebels, I think Rajan Daimari, who is the Home Secretary of the NDAB Suraigra faction, is one of them. And apart from Sansuma Basumatari of the another NDAB Suraigra leader. So on the whole, this is a very big development as far as Northeast insurgency theater is concerned. 2-3 points which are significant: close contact between India and Myanmar. In fact, Myanmar is the only ASEAN nation that shares a land boundary with India. So that is significant. And the Chinese also have a lot of interest in Myanmar. And considering all this, I think it's a big diplomatic victory for India to have, for the first time, making the Myanmarese authorities hand over Northeast rebels to the Indian side and to Indian authorities, and allowing a plane to land in Mandalay, where from they were picked up and flown back to India. So these are some of the major significant developments, Pooja. And of course, the flight has landed, as I said, in Imphal, and now it has already landed in Guwahati at 5:50. The rebels have been taken into custody by the police in the respective states. They will be taken for quarantine and their COVID tests carried out on all these 22 people.
Right, Basbir, and also this comes at a time when Northeast is looking to make insurgency a thing of the past, and we have had the Bodo Accord, unofficial offers were being made to the Alpha Independent. So big development in that context too.
Well, very big development. This also demonstrates the importance that New Delhi has been attaching, the government of Prime Minister Modi has been attaching to make the region insurgency free. In fact, in this time of the pandemic, the fact that the Indian authorities at that time to liaise with the counterparts in Myanmar, send over a plane, load these 22 militants, bring them over to India, put them into quarantine. I think all this suggests the determination as far as the Indian security establishment is concerned, as far as making the region insurgency free. And that also demonstrates what kind of an interest India has vis-a-vis its immediate neighbor, Myanmar. So the two countries, India and Myanmar, share a 1,600 kilometer long, extremely porous border. So unless there is intelligence sharing, unless there is good diplomatic and bilateral relations between the two nations, this kind of trans-border ingress and outgress of people will be extremely difficult to handle. So I think that there could be also a quid pro quo. Who knows, India might also pick up some of the wanted people in Myanmar and send them back to Myanmar. We don't know that, but as far as we are concerned, 22 Northeast militants who have been wanted in various cases for a long time have been handed over to Indian authorities today, and part of a direct monitoring by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and his team in New Delhi, of course, backed up by the police in the respective states and the intelligence set up in the region.